it is Scott from the future. There's about a week's delay from when I work on the project and when it actually gets out to YouTube, about a week for editing and all that stuff. So I wanted to let you know the web app is ready now. For those just joining, I am building a web app that lets you save, organize, and share bookmarks with your friends. Right now it's just a proof of concept, and I'm just trying to get feedback as to whether the idea of this is something that provides value. So obviously in the current manifestation, there are bugs and everything looks terrible and blah, blah, blah. But hopefully it's enough to give you an idea of what this type of tool would be and to let me know whether or not you think that is something worth pursuing. If I continue to build this, will it be useful for you? Right now, you can go to my website, scottplusplus.com/tagshare, and I'll leave the link down below, and that will bring you to this app, okay? So if you are at all interested, I'd really appreciate it. Give it a test run, sign in, create a collection, add some bookmarks. Let me know what you think, whether or not this will be useful to you. All right, so without further ado, I'll let you get back to the video and watch what I was working on a week ago.
Boy, life has been pretty rough the last few days. It's now Saturday, getting on afternoon. Obviously not a whole lot of time left before the end of the week. Let's see how we're doing. I think we can call the user register sign in done. Let's just dive in and see what else we can get through today. Let's do it. Okay, life has struck again. It's already Saturday evening. What I've done so far is basically set up a React router that lets me have different routes up in the URL to direct to different pages. So here I have the home page, which shows just a hard-coded gallery, and then I have the user page. This user page has the same functionality as we had before. So I can submit to log in, but then I can still toggle between the pages, and it retains the user profile of the user who signed in. I do need to update how it handles loading these items, because right now each time you pop into a different page, it reloads all the data for the gallery or the collection. But I'll get to that. Just a quick look on how I set it up on the in React here. So one thing I did is I set up the user data to when we are saving the user data, we also save it to the window session storage. And then every time we load the page, if the user data is null, then I just grab it from the session storage and instantiate that. And then I basically pass that down to everything else. We set up a standard React router with a router and a bunch of routes for homepage, gallery, etc. So now the next step I have is to go ahead and make these links to the user's own collections, make them actually link to something like gallery, and then if I put in this ID, something like that. So right now it works, but the gallery is empty, so nothing to see there. So those are the next steps. Let's get to it. We're losing daylight. Alright, I'm gonna have to do a bit of maintenance here because I ran into an error that basically flooded the server with like thousands of requests, which is going to make things very difficult to debug. So I've gone ahead and fixed the issue on the client side, so it's no longer going to do that. It's gonna, if it gets a null collection back from the server, it's gonna just throw a put an error message on the page instead of trying to continually retry every millisecond. But now I also want to go on the server side, and when I am flooded with logs, go ahead and like just trim those so that I can better debug. Alright, we got that basically working. If I go to the user page, I see that I've created 2 collections. If I click on the first one, I've got some music videos in here. If I go back to my profile and click on the second gallery, here I've got the game design forum. So we've got 2 separate collections. I'm able to navigate to either of them and edit them. So you know what that means. Time to cross something off the list. Boom! Looks like the next thing on the list is users can only edit their own collections. Now this is kind of baked in on the server side, so it is going to returning errors if you do try to edit a collection that is not yours. I do, however, want to prevent that from happening in the first place on the client side. So I have this concept of a collection being in editable mode or not, and I just need to set that value appropriately based on whether or not you are looking at your own collection. And then I also should add some sort of like error handling, so when you do send a request and that error does come back, there's some notice that that is happening and showing that error. So let's go. Okay, that was pretty fast, but what I've got now, here you see I've got this gallery 2 open in one window where I have the option to add links and delete items. That's because I am signed in as the gallery or collection creator. In this other tab, you see I'm not signed in. I don't have the option to add anything to the collection. I can't delete items from the collection. So that's working, that's great. If I went ahead and I signed in here as the proper user and go back here, then I do have those controls. So that means I get to come in here, I get to cross this off, and I also get to cross this off. Wow! All right, we got 2 things left that I wanted to accomplish this week. One is to bundle the front end and serve that from a web server, right? Obviously, if I want people to test this, they need to actually be able to go to the URL and do it, not spin up React on their own laptops. And then a bunch of polish. So let me see if I can push through, get at least this first part working tonight. That's going to be annoying probably, but let me do that. I'll have to do it again once I do all the polish, but it'll be good practice. All right. Whew. Okay. It's late, but we did it. I got the basically just built the React app that pushes basically everything into a build folder. The one thing I did forget is when I was committing and pushing this to Heroku, I forgot to add the new folder, and that caused me some delays. But anyway, now if I go to the URL, I get the latest version of this prototype. Boom. So, oh, and now I gotta do the dance to cross this off the list. Kapow! And so now all that's left is polish. So, as mentioned before, I do want to time box this. I'll see what I can get done tomorrow before the end of the weekend. Just get whatever polish done I can, and then push this live and get to work editing this video that you're watching right now.
that the app is ready for testing right now as you're watching this. So if you're interested, go to scottplus.com/tagshare. I would really appreciate any feedback you have.